Watching bombs fly over civilians in Gaza for the fourth week, even Israel's friends and allies are forced to take different stands. Some are openly calling for a ceasefire. Others have even gone to say that Israel is crossing the line of self-defense. We tell you more in this report.
Until a few days after the deadly Hamas attack, Western leaders were standing with Israel like brothers in blood. An ironclad support that Israel can do whatever it wants in self-defense. A month ago, Israel launched its siege in Gaza. In Israeli speeches, the target was Hamas, but in the Gaza Strip, the fatalities were innocent Palestinians. In the last 1 month, the West, including Israel's staunchest ally, the United States, have urged caution. With ever-increasing dissent, they realize supporting Israel and protecting Palestinian lives are not contradictory policies. The biggest example of it is Europe. In the immediate events post the Hamas attack, the European Union's stance was pro-Israel. It was against terror for Israeli self-defense. But just as Israeli actions, its massacre in the Gaza Strip started making news, the stance slowly started to shift. More and more leaders started calling for a ceasefire, for a humanitarian pause, for the hostages to be released.
The EU reiterates the importance of ensuring the protection of all civilians at all times in line with international humanitarian law. It deplores all loss of civilian life. We express our gravest concern for the deteriorating humanitarian situation in Gaza.
We do think that a humanitarian truce is useful today to protect the people who are on the ground, who have been bombed. And my thoughts are obviously with all the civilian populations, whatever their nationality, but also with the staff of UNRWA, the United Nations agency, which has lost dozens of teachers and doctors, staff who are there to provide support to population dying under the bombs. So we can't pretend that nothing is happening. These people have nothing to do with terrorism, nothing at all.
Then comes the US, an ally of all weathers. In the last 1 month, the US, that appeared too solid in its support to Israel, has acknowledged Palestinian killings. Biden and his top military and diplomatic officials have become more critical of Israel's response to the terrorist attacks and the unfolding humanitarian crisis. The Biden administration has called on Israel to exercise caution. They say, quote-unquote, minimize civilian casualties and follow the rules. An increasing number of developing nations have voiced their anger against Israeli actions. South American nations especially are saying what they mean. Bolivia has snapped ties with Israel. Chile and Colombia recalled their ambassadors, and Brazilian president called Israeli siege unjustified.
So I've been talking to everyone, and I'm actually tired of making phone calls. I'm going to keep doing it because I believe in it, and I want to see us restore peace. It's not because Hamas committed a terrorist act against Israel that Israel has to kill millions of innocents.
There seems to be a growing disconnect between how Israel and the world see this conflict, especially West Asian players. Israel and Turkey's relations that were almost concrete have gone for a toss. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was supposed to visit Israel this year, a landmark moment that now stands cancelled. Addressing a massive rally in Istanbul, Erdogan slammed Israeli action as well as Western support in all opportunities possible.
Batı'dan bahsediyorum.
Just as Netanyahu is a terrorist, Hamas is a terrorist organization as well. Shame on you. Israel, we will declare you as a war criminal to the world. Right now we are making preparations for this. Hey Israel, how did you come here? How did you enter here? You are an occupier. You are an organization. The Turkish people know this.
There is also uncertainty about the future of Abraham Accords. Once considered a game changer for West Asia, there is a question mark on its future. On the planned big normalizations between regional Arab bigwigs and Israel. Clearly, as Israel keeps pounding Gaza with air and ground strikes, questions are being raised on Israel's insistence on finishing of Hamas, regardless of the humanitarian costs and the ever-rising death toll.